The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Echo Park Speedway delivered one of the most dramatic and emotional nights of the entire season. From an unexpected weather delay to a record-setting crash, followed by a nail-biting finish that ended a long winless drought for everybody's favorite driver, this race had every element of a motorsports blockbuster. The most crucial turning point in the race happened late in Stage 1 when the weather forced a red flag delay. The stoppage didn't last long compared to other events, but it brought with it a dramatic restart that would reshape the rest of the evening. As soon as the green flag dropped again to start Stage 2, chaos unfolded on the track. What many are now calling the biggest big one since Atlanta's reconfiguration turned into a pileup of almost cinematic proportions. This was not a typical multi-car incident. It wiped out many of the top contenders in less than a lap. Austin Cindric, who had won the opening stage and was looking strong, was eliminated. Joey Logano, who had started on pole and was a former Atlanta winner, also got caught in the wreck. Denny Hamlin was taken out along with William Byron, the two-time defending Daytona champion. Ryan Blaney, who many considered a favorite, was already taken out before this crash due to another incident with Christopher Bell, himself the most recent winner at Atlanta. By the time 100 laps were complete, nearly every heavy hitter was either out of the race or limping around the track with damage. After the dust settled, only one of the top 22 cars on the track had a win this season, Shane Van Gisbergen. That meant the remaining drivers, 21 out of 22, were desperate for a win. Most of them were outside the playoff cutoff line, which added enormous pressure and made every lap feel like a last chance to save the season. It wasn't just a race anymore. It was a war for survival, redemption, and opportunity. With names like Nemechek, Zane Smith, Ty Gibbs, and even some younger faces like Connor Zilisch battling for position, the race began to resemble an all-star open more than a traditional Cup Series event. These weren't the household names that usually dominate NASCAR Sundays, but drivers who were hungry for their first taste of victory or redemption after a tough season. Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman managed to link up in the final laps, though it didn't look intentional. For most of the last run, they were racing each other as much as anyone else. But with 2 laps to go, Bowman found himself right behind Elliott. He had no choice but to push his teammate past Keselowski. That 2-on-1 scenario made all the difference. Bowman even made an extra move to block Keselowski and ensure that at least one Hendrick car would win. Elliott's win at his home track was his first in over a year. His last victory came in Texas during the spring of the previous season. That made this moment even more emotional. For a driver who is known for keeping his feelings to himself, fans saw a new side of Chase Elliott. As he stood in front of his home crowd in Georgia, visibly touched by the moment, it was clear this was more than just another win. It was a personal triumph. He had snapped a long losing streak, secured a playoff spot, and did it all while driving a car with a special paint scheme designed by a young fan who was there to witness the moment. Alex Bowman also had a night to remember. He entered the race near the playoff bubble and needed a strong finish. With the result, he not only earned valuable stage points but also gave himself breathing room in the standings. With road courses like Chicago coming up, where he's performed well before, Bowman is now in a much better position to secure his playoff spot, either by winning or continuing to collect points. Tyler Reddick, who finished 4th, showed speed all night. He has struggled to complete full races in recent weeks, but this time he kept his car clean and battled at the front for much of the night. In 5th was Eric Jones from Legacy Motor Club, who continues to deliver solid results. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 6th despite a late race penalty, and Zane Smith came home 7th in a strong showing for his team. Ty Dillon had a fast car and was in the middle of nearly every major incident, including contact with both Justin Haley and Ty Gibbs. Chris Buescher held on for a top 10 finish in the colorful Cinnamon Toast Crunch car, and Carson Hocevar, who had early damage from the big crash, recovered and earned a top 10 finish as well. 18-year-old Connor Zilisch, in just his 3rd Cup Series start, impressed by finishing 11th. He stayed out of trouble and collected valuable experience, the main goal for his weekend. Cody Ware and others in the back half of the field also managed to avoid major damage and finish strong given the circumstances. Now looking at the playoff standings, the impact of Atlanta's race becomes even more clear. Chase Elliott is no longer sitting on the playoff bubble. Thanks to a recent win, he's locked in his position, relieving some of the pressure that had been mounting. On the other hand, drivers like Chris Buescher and Alex Bowman, who had big nights, increased their points cushion. They're in a better spot now, but are still hoping to secure a win to guarantee a playoff berth. Tyler Reddick is currently sitting comfortably with a large points buffer. Unless we witness an unlikely series of 4 or 5 new winners in the final 8 races, Reddick appears to be safe. But things are far from settled for drivers just below him in the standings. Bubba Wallace, who currently sits 16th, is just barely hanging on to a playoff spot. He may need to win another race or gather consistent top 10 finishes to remain above the cut line. Others like A.J. Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, and Daniel Suarez are hovering dangerously close to elimination. They can theoretically qualify on points, but realistically, a win is likely their only real path into the playoffs. Daytona in August, along with back-to-back road course races, may be their best shot to break through. The chaos didn't stop with a playoff race. The in-season challenge, NASCAR's new mid-season knockout-style tournament, also saw major bracket-busting results at Atlanta. This head-to-head format pits drivers against each other in single-elimination matchups, and with 16 battles in round 1, anything could happen. And anything did happen. One of the biggest surprises came right at the start. The 32 seed Ty Dillon managed to upset the number 1 seed Denny Hamlin after Hamlin got caught up in the massive crash that shook the race up early. Dillon advanced despite being considered a long shot, and that upset alone busted brackets across the country. Ty wasn't alone. Several other top seeds fell, with Kyle Busch, William Byron, and even Kyle Larson failing to make it past the opening round. Kyle Larson's exit shocked many. He was a favorite not just to advance deep into the bracket, but potentially win the entire tournament. Known for his skill on both ovals and road courses, Larson's early crash at Atlanta ended his run before it even got going. That left a huge hole in many predictions and removed one of the most talented racers from contention for the $1 million prize. According to many, this was one of the most thrilling Atlanta races in recent memory. Even when it looked like things had settled down, action returned instantly. Crowd turnout was also strong. Despite the threat of rain, the grandstands appeared to be nearly full, confirming Atlanta's current reputation as one of the hottest venues in NASCAR. The drafting-style racing and frequent lead changes had fans on the edge of their seats. Many great drivers were eliminated too early to show what they could do, which slightly lowered the overall excitement. Still, having names like Keselowski, Buescher, Elliott, and Bowman battle it out kept the drama alive until the checkered flag. So, with 8 races left in the regular season, the playoff race is tightening. The in-season challenge bracket is completely shaken up. So before you leave, just don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell while you're down there.